I just like kicked him in his non-existent dick and like, what the hell, man?
Howling in
What
pain.
the hell?
Ow!
He's like, what? What did I do to you? What? What?
Poor guy.
As far as other subtle details about it, if you look at the skin very closely and the actual shadowed part right around the pecs and the biceps on the left arm and all that, you see it kind of has a look to it where, yes, he looks like he's very strong, but at the same time, there's something very sickly about it, like the way that the veins are portrayed and the overall shape looks like there's something not quite right about it. Like the same sort of way that if a person is well hydrated versus not, it makes a big difference in the tone of the flesh and the veins and all that.
Right.
You know what? I figured it out. Okay, so him and his other snake buddies were drawing straws as to which one of them was going to charge at me first, and he got the long straw. And he's like, come on. Kidding me? It's always me. Yeah.
All right, let's move on. The other one in that batch, along with the Viper that we got, was a PvP screenshot from the game. And there's 4 characters on screen, but you can only see 3 of them because one is being attacked right now. I believe they said it was the Witch Doctor, about to get beheaded by the Barbarian.
It's pretty obvious since none of the other 3 characters could create those fire bombs.
Right.
And if you look at the very top of the screen, it has that blue glow, which is that kind of slow skill that the Witch Doctor casts.
Ah, there you go. Let's just make Diablo like Mario Party. It's Diablo Party. That sounds like a great game.
Made Mario Party.
Nice.
Game is, well, Mario Party is made by Satan, so it's fitting.
So you're saying that loot would go out evenly to everyone, but then if I stood on the wrong square as we were standing in front of Duriel, all of my loot would go to you, and I would get sent back to the rogue encampment.
Basically.
Mario Party.
No, you want to know what's going to happen here? That Witch Doctor is going to use, what's that ability where he, like, sacrifice? He's going to use sacrifice, or whatever that one is where, like, he just starts, like, convulsing and he goes into, like, a spirit walk. You know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
Oh, I mean, I thought
You
it
mean
was
spirit walk?
I thought it was called
No,
Spirit walk?
sacrifice is where you blow up the mongrels, dude. And you do see mongrel parts down at close to the firebombs, actually.
Yep. A head and a leg.
I don't know. It's the most annoying.
Well, the commentary
thing when I was
that they
playing
made
the
on
PvP.
But just notice about these firebombs, it's like arms. It's not a splash, it's like fiery arms.
Oh yeah, it's a little skull comes out like with arms and it mocks you.
Yeah, I mean, what I first thought when I saw it was that it was them taking the elemental idea from Diablo 1 and making it into an entirely new skill. Because you see a humanoid person in flames, basically.
Yeah, he starts with his arms crossed when he first throws it, and as he rises up, he spreads them out and puffs his chest out towards the sky. It's a really awesome effect.
Yeah.
Watching it.
Now, I loved Elemental in Diablo 1, but I also hated it. I loved it because it was just such a cool idea. It sucked so bad.
Okay, it is called Spirit Walk. I have to look it up. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. It's just, I asked.
Spirit Walk.
Well, jeez.
What else are they going to call it?
Really annoying move.
There's so many of
Walk
those.
It looks to me in the
Walk of
screenshot,
the spirits.
both of the barbarians are wielding the same axe.
That's true. They do look
So,
exactly identical.
I'm wondering if that's like a special axe, or it's just early in development where they're kind of like just messing around with PvP.
I'd imagine that's pretty standard norm. I mean, it's very stylized, don't get me wrong, and I really like it, but I don't think it's, a unique or special or anything. I gotta admit,
is that
playing
a
through
wizard
Diablo
in there?
2... Oh yeah, the wizard's up at the top right.
Yeah, you can't really tell. They got something funky going on with their face. Spell or
Fiery
something.
locust.
Yeah, I think it's the locust.
Oh,
That's right.
that makes sense.
So now Variant 1 asks if you can take damage while you're in Spirit Walk, and I believe you couldn't. So for, I think, 3 seconds, you're immune, and
I
you can pass
swear
through
it's
other
longer
characters.
than that. It's like 4.5 hours. It looks like make circles around the arena. It's enough time to like clear the arena. Like you're just completely gone by the time you come out of it. It's ridiculous.
Everything is Imba from the other side of the table.
No, even being the witch doctor, I was like, oh, spirit walk. Well, that was easy.
Nice.
So probably more like 5 or 6 seconds.
I don't know, man. Come on, it was like 6 months ago.
Pretty fast moving. You've got a. You mean you don't have a dietic memory?
Eidetic. You mean?
Eidetic.
Eidetic, yeah.
Quit using smart words.
What did I say?
Dyadic, which I don't.
No,
that's even a word.
That's the internal universe of a. It's the internal universe of a fictional environment, like a work of fiction.
I feel like you should say Glaven after that.
Crap. What about a Gloiben?
What were we talking about? Oh, I only played the Witch Doctor a couple of times. They were kind of, I don't know. Witch Doctor's not my cup of tea right now. Well, Variant, he's asking about the Spirit Walk. The body, it's a decoy body that just like sits there and starts twitching in the air, and people can beat on it, and then like the person himself runs somewhere else invisible, and then they just come out wherever they are.
Ooh,
oh, wow.
Sneaky spell.
Did you guys notice the very bottom left corner, there's actually a body next to the spikes?
Nope.
I just now realized that. It's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, the first time I actually saw the Spirit Walk, I just started beating on the decoy, and I was like, nice, this Witch Doctor's dead, and then it died, and he just appeared somewhere else. I was really upset.
That's pretty excellent.
Looking at the Barbarian picture now?
Yeah. That's up there on Ustream, so everybody can check it out. Big change from Diablo 2. It looks like you can use fist weapons now. It's one of the first things I noticed when I saw this.
Yeah, that's actually one thing that I noticed as well. That and the feet, the shoes are pretty crazy looking for the barbarian shots.
Right. He's got some gnarly claws on those and on his knee.
Yeah.
So we're seeing highly stylized armor in these concept art, and how well do you think they'll translate into game?
Well, obviously things like the knee pads will not translate. That's kind of a given.
Just unfortunate.
You know, a lot of the other things, like that's one of the reasons why some of those art shots we got of the set tiers, the helmets were really kind of dramatic and overdone, was just so they would become very visible on screen.
Right.
So I'd imagine we could see a lot more of that.
If we want the answer to the question, we don't even really need to just sit here and postulate about it. We've got this PvP shot that has 2 barbarians in it. So if we take this concept art and put it side by side with the PvP picture, how well do we think it carried over? And as I look at it, I see a lot of little details on these 2 barbarians. The rivets on their armor, the small spikes. The blue barbarian down at the bottom on his left gauntlet, there's even kind of these metal ridges and spikes coming off of it, and there's a lot of tiny details on, like surprisingly tiny details on these character models. So how well will it translate? I think pretty well.
I would have to agree.
Oh, wow,
which just gets me freaking excited.
I just zoomed in on the high-res image. I finally found it, and it looks awesome.
Doesn't it?
I really think the only part of this shot that you can't really get a good feel for as far as the concept art is concerned are the boots. The boots do look very plain Jane in the screenshot.
You see a knee pad attached to one of them, and the barb closest to us that's kind of running towards the firebomb.
Okay.
Oh yeah, knee pads are different than shoes though.
The firebomb? Like I thought it looked like it mimicked a person, but there is literally like a face in there and hands with
yelling.
Like, screaming like someone is pillaging his anus at the current moment. Screaming, no, exit
there
only.
There are pirates
exit
at
only.
his back door.
Brutal.
This is why I love Ken's commentary.
Does that look like he's screaming exit
Really?
only? I'm pretty sure.
Really classing the place up.
Exit only!
No!
Oh, you poor firebomb.
Now every time anyone sees it, that's what they're going to be thinking about. And I'm going to
know,
make
all I can think are
firebomb
just
build
sort
for
of-
the Witch Doctor, and I'm going to call it the exit only build.
Is that going to be your character's name?
All I can think of
Excellent.
now is just other like completely inane and banal things that he could be yelling. Like maybe these are the elemental spirits of people doomed to a life of working retail. So it's like, restack the product. No outside food or drink.
Would you like a warranty with that?
You see the bottom one,
Uh,
it's just forming. You see arms. Kind of
We
just
don't have it in the back room. Sorry, I'll stop.
The variant
all.
one sympathizes with you. He says he works retail.
I hate retail. It's sucking my will to live.
Bet you meet some interesting people, though. Is that the bright side? I've never
You
worked
know,
retail. I've
some of
worked
the people I
restaurants,
meet are really funny. Like the guys who are trying way too hard to be hardcore, and they just like you just see right through all of their lies. There was this guy who came in and said he beat Final Fantasy 13 in 20 hours with everything done, like all marks got, all grid or whatever they were called, all grids filled out on every single person. And I was like, in 20 hours? Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
I
even
was like,
possible.
no, it is physically like I don't even if you're like amazing and do everything flawlessly, just the physical time it takes to run around everywhere is going to take forever.
I smell bullshit.
It's like
Yeah, I
people,
actually got in trouble for calling him out on it too. That's another reason I love retail.
Wow.
uh, that's funny.
I was like, yeah, I think you're full of crap. You can't talk to customers like that. I was like, I talked to your mom that way.
Let's move on to the next shot. Next shot we got is a gem mine concept art.
Yeah, what the heck is this? Am I playing like
Torchlight?
Heroes of Might and Magic? Like what? I don't.
I honestly don't know
I
what to
like
say about
gems.
I
Well,
just
they've
like
got to get
'em.
gems from somewhere.
And why does it say '01? Like, is this like a 10-year-old's shot? Like,
Wow. Possibly.
it. This was done back in 2001. That's how outdated it is.
Are we going to see this in game?
Well, they have
I can
mentioned that there'll be
safely
things like this, like maybe not looking like this, but they do want things like gem mines, random locations. I mean, here's the thing: is we do dig up or not dig up, but we do equip and go through an awful lot of gems. There's a ton of gemstones floating around Sanctuary. They got to come from somewhere.
I gotta agree with Variant One. If it wasn't for the little sign front row center with the picture of
Yeah,
a
I
gem
was gonna mention
arrow
that.
pointing to the shaft, I would never know that was a gem mine.
Gems this way. Come on
I do
in.
have a
Gems
question
that
for
way.
I do have a question for all of you here though. Did anyone actually play the open beta for Diablo 2?
No.
No,
I did
It's a gem mine.
Barbarian Whirlwind with bows.
What?
Who?
Get
No,
out of here.
no. No, the funny thing about that whole thing was you only had Act 1. You only had the very beginning of Act 1 up until like the Blood Raven. You only had the Barbarian with the first few spells, right? Well, one of the biggest trade items, like there was trading, there was all this other stuff going on. But what was for trade were the funniest things because people would literally spend all day finding gem shrines and make perfect gems, even though only chip gems dropped in this little mini section of the game. So you had people dueling with these crappy items with perfect gems in them.
Humans these days.
Puny humans.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
I think the lesson to be learned here is never underestimate the level of tedium that your fans are willing to expose themselves to.
Yeah, they actually said they were shocked at how many people actually played that, even though, like I say, it was a garbage part of the game by comparison to how big Diablo 2 actually is.
Whoa. Whoa. And that little screenshot that just got linked, what is her right click ability? It looks like Nut Stomp or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
I wonder why that one didn't make it through. I think that's either supposed to be sprint or doesn't the kick? Wait, no. What the? Because that's a sorceress.
The only
That's
thing it
Nut
could be
Stomp,
is
buddy.
Blades.
Wow.
Dang. Maybe that's supposed to be Fire Trail?
Yeah, Blaze.
Blaze, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Maybe.
Like I say, that's the only thing that
Maybe
would
the
make logical
sorceress
sense.
originally had Nut Stomp.
I'm
Instant
gonna
kill
say
on barbarians.
She's a
No.
sassy one.
Probably.
She is.
Probably paladins and druids. Barbarians, their nuts are probably so big they don't even feel it.
Where are these screenshots from, Zelnaga?
Diablo2.judgehype.com,
No,
obviously.
but I mean, are they from D2 development? Because the armor looks different, the helms look different.
I mean, you can tell just looking at them, they look very Diablo 1-esque.
Well, not just Diablo 1-esque. These are, I mean, it's reused art assets. These are Diablo 1 art assets.